Do looks really matter in a relationship?
Of course.
Today's podcast, Sissy and I, we're going to share our thoughts. Stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the Blissology Podcast, where we keep it real about love, marriage, and everything in between. I am your girl, your host, Cece, and I have my amazing husband / co-host. Babe, what's going on?
I'm good.
You Gucci.
Hey, this is Will, and welcome back, everybody. We're so glad you're tuning in today. If this is your first time tuning into a podcast, this comes out weekly, and in here we keep it real. Like Sissy mentioned, we keep it relatable, and we come to you every Saturday.
That is right. And happy June to you guys. Happy June.
Happy
okay?
June. It's
happy
hot.
Joy
It's been
June.
hot. It's been hot.
It's a hot summer already.
Yes. Hey guys, before we get into the topic of the day, as always, would like to share our blissful moment. Now, that's either something that we did or something that happened to us or something that we're looking forward to do.
Yes.
So, what's your blissful moment?
Kids are officially on a summer break, like you mentioned earlier.
They are.
Super, super dope. Super excited about that. Right? I get to take some time off. You've been trying to get me all day on Friday.
Yeah.
And I literally I got up yesterday morning. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chill this Friday. You told me yesterday morning when you were going to work, you're like, babe, take the day off. Something like that you said. I don't remember exactly.
I always had to take Fridays off because, it's been tough. So, she did mention it's the summer. She'll take some time off. So, hopefully that does happen.
I don't know. This happened. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. Listen, it's a blessing to be busy. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to complain. Yes, busy is good. You know, God's grace is
Well, you're helping people and they're
helping
making you
people,
money.
serving my
always a good
community
thing.
is all that matters.
Yeah, they're making you money. That's
Well,
always a
yeah,
good
you
thing.
got to work. Okay. Although I wanted to start posting on social media, but God had other plans for me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let him lead me.
Listen, that's the way to go. Leave it in the hands of God and it'll make things happen.
That's right.
Now, as for me, I realized that I got to start wearing my glasses.
Y'all should have seen this man on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Thursday night, so my husband read this. He's like, I can't see.
She had to hand me her glasses. Hey, listen, I
In
appreciate.
that stage, babe, where I gotta hand you my glasses and now.
Yeah, it's like, you gotta see. Hey, but yeah, I appreciate the fact that, we should never take things we have for granted.
No, at all.
We shouldn't. So I'll say anyone, wherever you are, whatever you have in your lives, appreciate it.
Yes, real people's life
that's
issues.
That's what's happening with us.
That's
we
right.
have issues, and yes,
We do.
I gotta start wearing my glasses. So today's episode is something that stays trending, especially on social media.
Is it really?
Oh yes, it does. Man, haven't you been on social media lately?
I have not been
It's
on
all
social
about
media.
good looking.
Listen.
Hey, listen. Here's the question: do looks really matter in a relationship?
Of course.
Like for real?
Yes.
Is it just about being fine? Or should there be more to love than what meets the eyes?
Yes, listen. I was scrolling through my favorite podcasters.
As always.
Okay, because I have my own YouTubers that I follow that talks about relationship. And this video we watched on YouTube, and they were going back and forth, about this particular topic.
Should it matter or should it not? Should
Yes.
it matter or should it not?
Yes, some people say the attraction matters. A lot say it's about the vibe.
Hey, listen, today we're going to tell you what we think.
Listen, we've been married for 15 years. Together 20 years. Okay.
We've gone through some look changes. Let's start with this. It's okay to want to be attracted to your partner.
Of course.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that looks don't matter. They do. We'll be lying to you if I were to tell you that. Now, we all have certain types that we find attractive. And that's absolutely normal.
It is.
No, we're attracted to certain type of people. Right now, you and I, we've been attracted to each other for the last 15 years.
20.
And then the last 20 years. She's always correcting me when it
Listen,
comes
you gotta
to that
add the
time.
5 years. That's that's the amount of time we dated.
That's a long time. And we have a whole lot more time coming. Now, I do think people sometimes confuse having a preference with being shallow.
True.
It's not wrong to draw to someone's appearance.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how most people notice That's usually the first thing they see is how that person looks.
Yeah.
But remember, looks can only carry you so far.
That's true, baby.
Yeah.
That's true. Say that again, because life will test you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Beauty fades. You ladies, you know that.
Yes.
You know beauty fades. Life happens. You know, the Botox, the tummy tuck, all the stuff that you're doing to your body. It's literally, you know, that's just you trying to patch things up. You know, unfortunately, it is what it is. What's the other one called? Like the facelift?
Facelift, yes.
Yes. You know, people weight gain. I weight gain. I'm still trying to go back to how I was before I had my daughters, right? Some of us lose our hair, where we get stretch marks. You know, we go through our season. We go through our moment.
Yes, that's life.
Yes, that is life.
You know, if you only pick someone because they were fine. Now, what happens when that look starts going downhill? They start aging. Yes, you can go and do that facelift that we mentioned earlier, but believe me, you never look the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can't tell if you're smiling or if you're upset. You know, listen, physical attraction might get your attention. That, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
But character, that's what keeps your attention.
That's it right there, baby. That's it.
If you only focus on how fine someone is, but that person talk to you like crazy. I'm talking about someone who can't communicate. They can't hold a conversation.
Disrespectful.
They're disrespectful. They're never there to support you. What are you holding on to?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
You can't build a life with someone who's like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And as you mentioned earlier, looks change.
Yeah, listen.
Weight fluctuate. People go from being this big to being this big.
Listen.
Hairline goes back. Thank God I'm still keeping mine.
You better.
You know, I tell my barber just no more low cuts. In fact, this whole section here, you just clean it up. No. But you know, true story. I used to get low cuts, and it was starting to get a little bowl back here.
Patch, yeah.
The moment that I find out, I'm like, no more. So it's been years.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. So I try to keep my hairline, but eventually it may go away. And if that does happen, what? Cece's not gonna dump me? Well, I hope she doesn't. But
I'll get you a wig, babe. Let's just say that.
A toupee.
I'll just get you a wig, you know? I'll get you a wig.
Yeah, but you know, like Cece be saying, life be lifing. And sometimes there's nothing we can do to control how our looks change. It just happens.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you need something deeper to hold your relationship together, because when times start changing, when your body start changing, you're gonna have to deal with it.
Listen, you gotta deal with it. That's why sometimes it's okay for you to, if I were a man, if I'm, you know, going to approach a girl, if I see you all
Put
butt
together.
left and face this and boobs this, and I'll be like, now if you're not into a real relationship, if you're not into something serious, then
You
maybe
just want to have some fun.
yeah. But we know, you ladies, yes, looks does matter, right? You gotta look a certain way. But however, there's this thing where people go too far.
I agree with you.
Too far.
Sometimes I don't see why people have to go that far.
Well, we do know why. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
That's
We
why
know.
I just don't see why.
Yes.
See, from where I'm sitting, I think we are the way we are. And there's some modification that are absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, what I was going to say. We do know why these people are acting this way, because of social media.
Okay.
You know, social media mess things up. If we want to be honest, because we keep it real in this podcast. Social media, actually, I truly feel this generation, millennials and the Gen Zs, maybe the Gen X, but more like our generation and the Gen Zs, it's kind of like a filter generation. All right.
Yes.
We're talking about those filters that my husband cannot stand. I understand. I have it on my phone. My favorite is Snap. Okay, Snap and Instagram. I use those filters when I don't feel like, you know what, let me be honest, I use them filters, okay? And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just when you be using too much, you use it too much.
There's that one time Sissy showed me, she was doing a selfie and I happened to stick myself in. I'm like, why do I have a baby face? My skin was like...
He can't stand those filters, and I understand that. I've seen men with filters. Okay, I've seen men with filters, and I think that's where the problem is, because we comparing a life with the Instagram beauty. Let's just be real. That's what we're doing. I have an Instagram account. It's all about content. I do be filtered sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, when he takes my professional pictures, unfortunately, I can't filter. You have to go in
and re-edit them?
No, I don't re-edit anything. I just added maybe like contrast or brightness. But as far as my face, I don't do anything because it's professionally done. So I don't do anything. But if it's my phone, listen, baby,
we're going to filter the thing out of that thing.
We're going to get that filter going to make you feel glow. And this is something that we do to feel good about ourselves. But yeah, ladies, we got to stop filter. We got to stop the Snapchat, the Instagram filter. I don't know if TikTok has one because I'm not on TikTok like that.
Man, I've seen people's pictures. You know, there's the profile picture that they put up, and then you happen to see a picture of them at an event, and you're like, those are two different people.
But let me be honest, I'm not bad without filter. I think I look good. I'm just going to hype myself up. I think I look good with filter or without filter.
Oh, I think you look good the way you are.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Right, well, you know, hey, listen,
But you know, filter makes you look prettier.
Because of that whole filter and the way people should look, some folks won't even give someone a chance if they don't look like a 10.
That's true.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah.
But that same person, they're overlooking. The person may be right next to him who may have the best heart.
Yeah.
Who may be the most loyal person.
Right.
Who may even share the same value as them. They are willing to overlook that person if they don't look like a 10.
Listen,
based on what they normally see people put around.
Listen, that good Christian man, that good brother John at the church.
Yeah, that hadn't had a haircut in 2 years.
You know, well, that good brother John has a good spirit, you know, because he's wearing his pants in the back. Because it looks certain way, you know, you won't give Brother John a chance. That's the problem.
No, I think Brother John should learn to dress though.
Well,
if Brother John is carrying his pants up here, someone need to tell him something. But it's a common fact. People are overlooking competent, good people because of the way they look, and it's not that person look bad. It's just that. They're not like the common or the normal people that we normally see in pictures or those models. Yeah.
And sometimes maybe you need to step outside of what you're normal to get a good man or a good woman. Listen, I'll take an emotionally available, God-fearing man, okay, with a dad body. Over a fine dude who can't communicate. I'm just saying.
You see why I feel safe?
I'm just saying, because my husband. Safe. Listen, you had a body when we were dating.
But I feel safe now.
But I feel like
I think I am emotionally available, and I'm a God-fearing man.
You are a God. You were, and you still are a God-fearing man. You really are.
And you know, I 100% agree with you. That's exactly how I think we should look at things. You cannot build a marriage on muscles and jawline.
Yeah.
Listen, I wish I had the muscles like some people do, but I don't. But I tell you, it takes way more than that to build a solid marriage.
I agree.
You know, it takes trust. It takes faith.
Yeah.
And it takes being a good friend to that person that you're with.
True.
So, yes, the muscles and the jawline, the looks may be there.
Listen,
but if you're missing that trust, that faith, and that friendship, there's no way you're going to have
That's why you got to give Brother John a chance.
Absolutely. But Brother John needs to learn how to dress. You know, we're so visual now that we forgetting how powerful emotional connection can be.
That is so true.
You know, I've seen some people glow differently when they're really in love. I've also seen beautiful, good-looking people be extremely toxic. So looks... Believe me, I know it's important. I know it's great, but you cannot build a relationship when not alone.
You cannot. The reason why I'm saying this, I remember when I didn't feel beautiful, okay? After I had my daughters, right? My body changed. I think I mentioned this in the beginning.
It started changing even before then. I remember. I looked at those pregnancy pictures. I'm like, this is where you were, and this is where you are now.
This is where I was before I had them too. I was looking. Listen, I was a size 6. Okay,
What size are you now?
Listen, don't ask a woman what size they are after they have children. You don't do that. You don't ask a woman what size they are now after they have children. Okay.
You're not a woman. You're my wife.
Okay. Well, you don't ask your wife how much she weight.
I'm going to go in the closet and take a look at them pants.
Listen, what I'm saying is I was a size 6 before I had the girls. All right. My body changed and I have to accept that.
Oh, yes.
And if I'm being real, if I'm being raw right now, it's being a challenge. It's being a challenge to accept where you were prior of having children and to where you are now. And of course, my confidence also took a hit.
Yeah.
And that's for a lot of us women. You know, there's people who are lucky enough to, you know, like I could think of one person right now. You know, after she gave birth to 2 girls,
She goes back to exactly where she was.
She's as skinny as a bone as if someone that didn't have any kids. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes.
You know, but I feel like my husband never made me feel like I had to be perfect to be loved.
No?
Right? He knew what I was going through and he knew how, of course, it really impacted me. You know, and my husband has seen me through my nappy hair.
Mm-hmm.
My wigs, my weight gain, where I gain weight, I lost the weight, I gain it back on.
It's been a journey.
My yo-yo diet, that's how I call it. And of course, my sweatpants.
We're going through that right now.
Let's talk about the sweatpants.
We're currently in that period.
Listen, as a business owner, you know you're going to have days where you wear sweats. And you're going to be wearing the sweats all the time.
Sometimes I'm wondering, are they not hot? Because the kids, I've joined the sweat party as well.
So have you. Don't you have the...
Well, she bought me one. And yeah, sometime to join and do movie night, I'll put it on. But that thing gets warm. It feels comfortable, though.
Of course.
But it gets warm.
And you've seen me on my glam days, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're going to be doing something in the next couple of weeks. I know that we're going to be looking good.
That's
what we do. Hey, listen,
yes.
And this is what's so real about what we do. It doesn't matter what we're doing. If it's a thing that we're not so looking good, we're good.
Yeah.
If it's a thing that we're going to go all out and look our best, we do the best we can. But we do it for each other and no one else.
Yeah.
So yes, I've seen her through all of these.
But let me ask you, babe, what kept your eyes on me?
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, the moment I saw you, I knew you looked good. But we've grown so much with each other that looks become secondary. Yes, I appreciate it when you go all out and you're looking fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't, I still appreciate you.
Right.
Because I know what's in you. You know, your heart, the way you make me feel, the way we pray together, the way we raise our kids together, the way we make decisions together, listen, you care about family more than anyone I know. In fact, you're like my calendar when it comes to, hey, listen, baby, you gotta call your mom. So, and I appreciate all of these things about you because that's what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And I've always said this. Cece compliments me. She brings things in my life that I didn't have. Not only that, she challenged me. Believe me, this woman calls me out on things. I told you she's got no filter. She doesn't. If something's off, I get to hear about it. And obviously, we laugh with each other a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
She doesn't think I tell good jokes, but she keeps laughing when I tell them so.
Your daughters make me laugh. Yeah.
But all of these things, that's what builds what we put together.
Yeah.
You know, that's the relationship. It's not just how we look. It's the things we do together.
Yeah.
It's the experience we share with each other.
Right.
But yes, listen, I am blessed that not only I have this woman in my life who looks good, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, babe.
But she's got a beautiful heart as well, a beautiful personality, and I am blessed. And obviously, she gave me 2 children that are just as blessed, as good, and as great as she is.
Oh,
you know, and
you got me blushing here, babe.
I'm outnumbered in the house. I'm 1 against 3.
Against 4. We have Roxy.
Oh yeah, we have a female guinea pig as well, named Roxy.
Yeah,
but she's not as demanding. I just have to clean her from time to time. But all that I say this to say that all of what Cece and I have been going through over the years allow us to look way beyond looks.
I agree.
Now, I'm not saying it's not important because I appreciate when Cece dress up and we're looking good. And believe me, it makes me feel good.
He likes me.
But if that doesn't happen, I still feel good being with you.
Yeah. You're right about that.
So I hope that answers the question as to why I'm still around, and I intend to be around until we no longer exist.
Yeah, I see.
No matter how upset you get me or whatever else happened, I'm sticking around.
Listen.
Too bad you picked the wrong guy.
I picked the right guy. Let me just say this.
Yeah. He sticks around.
I picked
you can't get tired of him. It doesn't matter what happened. He's sticking around.
I picked the right guy.
Even after God calls me, I'll be up there, but I'm still down here hunting you.
Oh God, no. Listen, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah. But, looks still something that's important in our relationship because we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
But our relationship is not built on looks.
Right.
Listen, I look very different than the way that I used to look.
Yeah.
She looks very different than the way that she used to look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I asked him a question earlier and I said, which version of me do you love more now?
And I said, it's this version.
And I said, why?
This version has all these things that I've talked about. And this version not only have just look, it has all these relationship building things, the support, the way we do things, the family we've built together. All that contributed to who you are right now. When I first met you, you were just in your 20s, just shooting the breeze and looking good and didn't even understand what responsibilities are. Now you're raising 2 children and a man.
And a man.
In a household.
Well, like 3 children.
Right?
Yeah, 4.
And that's just me to highlight what makes this version the version that I love the most, because we've built something.
Yeah.
And we've built something together. We've brought new lives in this world.
Yeah.
And we're so proud of these girls on how we've been able to mold them into responsible young ladies.
Yeah.
All that contributed to this version who you are right now.
Yeah.
And yes, and not that I didn't like this version, but the version that I have right now, this is it.
Wow, this was really good. I'm actually going to cut this little piece and then just take that and listen to it over and over again, because this was really good. You got me all out here looking like a 15-year-old.
You know what that means.
Okay, let's move on.
For something.
I mean, I'll say, for me, it was your presence, of course. I'm never going to forget that time, when you had all black. It wasn't about your looks, but the way, just something about your presence, okay? You were just attractive.
I was the man and I'm still the man.
You were very intentional.
Well,
you always, that's something that you have in you. You're very intentional. Very, very intentional.
I have to be.
And when I saw you, and I was like, man,
I got to get this guy.
Didn't know what he had, what he didn't have. Didn't even really there was just something about you that God is like, ta-da! You know how it is when there's a light shine on top of.
So I had a halo around my head.
Man,
that was filled with the Holy Spirit.
When you know your soulmate, you know that's your soulmate. Yes, it wasn't just your look. Of course, you were very handsome. But I did look good that night. You were very handsome. You were very handsome, and I still remember it as if it was yesterday.
Yeah.
At my parents' 25th anniversary.
I remember that.
Yes, and I'll never remember that. But you were very, very. Yeah. I can't talk about it. It's just something.
You see why I say that? If we were to tell you looks don't matter, we'll be lying. Because I made an impression on her the way that I looked that night. Hence, that's why she caught me.
Listen. Okay, babe. Okay.
But those were our early days. And we've changed since a whole lot. And we all keep changing. Believe me, the way we're looking right now, and I'm glad that we are capturing these moments, and hopefully our children will get to watch these podcasts. When we're all gone. And
or when we're older, more like.
No, I'm talking about years and years out. Our grandchildren. And we pray to God that the family continues to grow and grow. But these moments, they'll say, this is what they used to look like. This is how they used to think. Right? But we'll continue to change.
We better think like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you know what? when you build a relationship on the criteria that I mentioned earlier, the trust, the faith, the real connection, it doesn't matter what changes your body go through. You gain some weight here, you lose some hair there, you suffer some medical changes here and there. None of these things matter because your relationship is not built on look.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention earlier, your faith also really had me because you were very devoted. You were very much like into your church. And as someone who has been praying and asking God for someone who's really like God-fearing man, of course.
Yeah.
Your faith was really like, okay, God
brought me to you.
He did, and he brought me to you.
And he allowed you to catch me.
And he allowed you to catch me. Yes, he did. So definitely your faith, I would say your faith first for sure.
Yes.
Your faith and then your presence. And of course, the look that you had that night was really like, damn.
So it's a combination of things.
It's a combination of things.
But, we built our relationship on the right things.
Of course.
And obviously, it started out with the attraction. We got to really know each other. And we had the right support around us as well.
Yeah.
So all of that allows us to build where we are right now. But looks does matter.
Of course
That's
it
what
matters.
brought us together. Believe me, that night, if I was wearing just a T-shirt and some shorts, I probably wouldn't have had that impact on her. So looks matters.
Yes.
Just that we have to put it in its place.
That's right.
It's not all that there needs to be. There has to be more, right?
Listen, somebody needs to hear that, baby. You got to say it one more time for the peoples in the back.
That's why we're saying it here. They can rewind us.
Because I feel like some of you guys are out here disqualifying real love based on shallow checklists. One thing I did not have when we were in our early stage of dating, I didn't have a checklist.
But you wanted someone to look good.
But of course, I wanted someone to look good. But I feel like nowadays people have a checklist, right? Yeah. And it's like you ignoring the person who's loyal, kind, and grounded because they don't fit some
checklist or unrealistic look that you expect them to.
There's some
have.
Good man and some good woman out there who may not have everything on your checklist, but if you give them a chance, they could be your next person, right? And I think people need to realize that yes, the look matter. At the same time, talk and have a conversation and see if this is the right person for you.
You could see the most attractive person and they open their mouth. The best thing to do is run, right? We need to unlearn what they taught us about attraction.
Yeah.
We got to ask, what's actually going to last?
Love.
Right? The looks won't last. I look this way now, eventually, and I pray God to continue to bless me. Eventually, my face will get saggy. That's what happens when we get older. My hair, my dad lost his hair, so it's in the family. So I'm hoping that I get to keep mine, but that may go away.
Your brother lost his hair already.
He still got some.
Listen,
he still got a lot of hair.
He's hanging on to what he has.
His hairline is farther back than mine.
He's hanging on, baby. He's hanging on.
Listen, we got to try to hold on to what we have, but we'll go through changes.
Hang on tight.
And when we go through those changes, yes, the look will not last. Mm-hmm. So we got to ask ourselves, what's going to last?
Right.
And look is like crossed out. Mm-hmm. So you got to look at the other things, how trustworthy is my partner?
Yeah.
How faithful are we both in God and in each other? Right.
Yes.
How do we support each other?
Right.
Are we showing up for each other when they need us? Mm-hmm. Those are the things that last. Believe me, even if I'm old, even if I'm on a cane, I'm still going to be there for my woman.
Yeah.
And I may still be able to do other things too.
And listen,
that's my intention.
We're going to make sure that you still be able to do that thing.
Yes. So, but I will absolutely not look the way I look right now, but I'll be there.
Of course.
And I pray God to keep me there, and I'll do whatever I can to support my woman.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yes. So life can be hard, and having someone who can be there for you makes a big difference. And some of the things that come with life is kids. They change things completely.
Completely.
Stress, either at home or at work, that has an impact on it. And you need someone who can be there to help you deal with those hard moments.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't feel your best. You know, there are days you don't. I know when you went through your moment back in 2019, I had to be there for you.
Yeah. And the kids.
You know, when you had to have the kids, I had to be there for you.
Right. Right.
You know, I worked.
Pretty hard.
She made me work.
They
but
did.
you know what? This is what's important.
That's what's exactly.
You have to be there for the person when they need you.
That's right.
You know, because if someone only loves the outside, they're only there when things are great. What happened when things changes?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened? What,
That's
you
right.
just pack up and leave? Or you just take a break and wait until things get back to normal, you come back? No, you can't do that. So you got to put look as secondary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And there's nothing wrong with, taking care of yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? There's nothing wrong with dressing up, wanting to feel cute for your partner, which is something that I've always done.
I appreciate that.
I always say, you know what? Well, how would this make me look when my husband sees me? You know, when he sees me with this nice dress or whatever. Even sometimes my sweat, I'll make sure I look cute when I have my sweats on too.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, yes.
it is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing when you take care of yourself, when you want to make sure that you look good for your partner and for yourself, right?
Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing. I completely agree. Take care of yourself because it feels good.
It does.
Right?
It does.
But your identity should never be rooted in appearance alone. You can't just identify with looks.
Yeah, because beauty fades.
No. Beauty fades. But I guarantee you, faith,
Yes.
character,
Yes.
loyalty,
Oof. Loyalty.
and wisdom,
Yes. Solomon.
support, careness, these things don't fade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, you can be faithful even if you're on a wheelchair.
That's true.
You can have wisdom wherever you are. But looks, believe me, sometimes that's the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't ever build your relationship on just look alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
true.
if you're looking to build a legacy, a love legacy, look can't be in it.
Yeah.
Now, it'll get you together, though.
Listen, I'm going to be this fine when I turn 80, 90, 100. Trust and believe your woman is still going to look 25.
I trust and believe
Because
that.
when God and I made this commitment that I'm 25 forever, baby, that body is always going to look 25. I don't know what commitment you made with God with your body, but mine, okay, I always tell this to all my family, know this. Whenever I turn an age, I said, listen, don't go ahead and say anything. I'm 25 forever. You might as well say. And when my sister-in-law turned 25, and I was like, I guess we're the same age now. So I am that girl mentally. I'm not 25, but physically, I want to be and continue to feel 25 because I want to make sure that I carry my body, not because I'm a mother, not because I have 2 children, or 3 or 4. You should never neglect the way you carry yourself. Think about a time when before you had your kid, before you got married, how sexy you look and how good you used to take care of yourself. Not because you have children now, you let your body go.
Nah,
Okay. I always tell my sister friends that looks matter. Wherever you go, whether if it's you looking for a relationship or your job or career, whatever it is, it matters wherever you go. So you have to carry yourself a certain way.
Yeah, it's always good to present your best self.
Yes. Wherever you
Because
go.
I tell you, when you spend some energy in yourself, you come across more confident.
And this is why I tell my husband, I don't care if I wear a church clothes to a party, baby, I still look damn good, okay?
I just said sometime lose the jacket. I said sometimes lose the jacket, But listen, it's an inside joke.
It is an inside joke.
Lose the jacket.
Lose a jacket.
Looks, the majority of the time, that's the first thing that catch our eyes.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. We see people before we get to know who they are. Right? But I'll tell you, love, is what captures your heart.
Sure.
So build something that's real.
That's
you
right.
know, don't chase body. Look for ways to build solid bond with the person that you're with, right?
Yes.
Don't chase popularity. Believe me, there's some celebrities in social media. There's some celebrities in town. Don't chase that. But look to build a relationship with someone who brings peace to you.
Yes. The reason why I want to say don't chase that when he said in your community, it's because they go back to being normal again. Okay.
The celebrities in
Yeah, they go back and remove the butts, the boobs, and go back to be like their normal selves. And now think about you went through all that, and now you feel like you should have stayed with the way you were before you go ahead and do all that craziness.
I mean, people would experiment stuff, but don't chase that and try to build love on popularity.
Right.
Look for someone who can bring peace in your life.
Yeah.
Right. And don't chase cuteness. I mean, it's good to look cute, but look for someone that you can be committed to, and someone who can be committed to you.
Sure.
Because those are the things that will allow you to build relationships.
Yes.
Now, if you're single, wait for someone who sees your soul.
Who sees your soul, baby girl. Okay.
If you're in a relationship, don't forget to love the part of your partner that cannot be posted on social media, right?
That's right.
You know, their strength, their growth, their heart, their love for you.
Right.
You know, those things can't be posted, but they're important.
That's true.
You know, in the world that we live right now, we see people posting all these little material things that they get. But none of that matters if that person don't have real love for you.
That's true.
Is it? At the end of the day, a beautiful face is nice. A beautiful body is nice. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, a beautiful heart is what makes a relationship bliss. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking to build a blissful relationship, start looking at the heart.
That's right.
Start looking at how this person present themselves, how they care about you, how they support you. Because those are the things that's going to make a real difference at the end of the day.
That's right.
You know, don't listen to all these shallow things that we're told that should be important.
That's true.
You know, because we live in a society where they tell us this is what's acceptable. This is what good looking is. This is what relationship should look like. Mm-hmm. No, look for yourself and make your own decision. What do I need out of this life? And what's going to be with me today, and when hopefully I get to turn 70 or 80. And if you can build your relationship on those things, which are again faith, trust, wisdom, love,
of course,
those things, you can't go wrong.
Yes.
So, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us on the Blissology Podcast today. You know, we've touched on a lot of these things, and actually, you guys see now how we feel about do look matters. Mm-hmm. It's good for the initial attraction.
Yes.
But beyond that initial attraction,
it's more than
you got to look at other things.
It's more than that.
So if this episode hit home for you, share it with someone who needs it. Mm-hmm. You know, and we also want to hear from you. So don't forget to drop us a comment. By the way, we want to thank all of you guys who've been commenting. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts and your opinions and letting us know that you appreciate what we do. So thank you to all of you. Yes. And we want to continue that conversation. It's about all the podcasts, but especially about this one.
Right.
We want to know how you feel about looks, how your partner maybe feels about looks, and if you've had to deal with it, how were you able to overcome that issue?
That's right.
And for those of you who haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe and drop a like on the video. Please let YouTube know that you love what we do.
That's right.
And we don't want you to miss any Saturday, so please subscribe. So, guys, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you. Until then, take care. Peace.
Bye.